Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game. When we last left off, we acquired the legendary Rudra Blade. Oh boy, was this thing certainly a thing. First off, it was possessed by an evil spirit, one who refused to die. That was kind of funny, actually. More importantly, it is gonna be really helpful in the coming battles. So, actually, go back to unequipping it. Let's see what it's capable of. We got this item in here that can tell us if it has any, magic attached to it. So, Rudra Blade. And... well, it's the Thunder Elemental, but doesn't have a spell attached to it. Oh well. Actually, this is a really good thing to have in this place, considering those annoying scorpions are weak to thunder. So, although we miss out on the double attack by equipping this, the Kali staff has a double attack, that is. This is going to be a good thing as we escape from this place. Also, there was something else we got. What was it again? Some sort of anklet? Let's check that out real quick. Gonna be... there it is, the Phantom Anklet. Oh, it's elemental. Okay. So it makes you... that's basically 50% fire elemental. Sort of. Basically the way it works is you'll take 50% less damage from fire attacks. I forget if it also makes you weak against ice. Something to try, though. Who uses fire attacks? I mean, what enemies use fire attacks? Should I consider giving this to Dusk? I should probably consider giving this to Dusk. He's our healer after all. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and give him that real quick. Oh, wait a sec. Not anybody can equip this. Is it only Uri who can equip it? Huh. Well, in that case, I guess Uri is equipping this. He loses out on a bit of attack power, taking off one of those platinic gloves, but hey, the Rudra Blade's gonna be pretty strong anyway. Now, what else? A couple of us learned spells from that last boss fight. Let's start with Harrison. Harrison has a new spell and tech. First things first. That is the wrong option. Hazy Moonbeam? Or is it something else? Black Fang we already had. Shadow Veil we already... yeah, it's Hazy Moonbeam. Lowers attack by 15 points. Well, I guess that it would be useful if we're fighting an enemy with strong physical attacks. William? No, not William. Yes, William, but not spells. Okay, moving on to Texan. Harrison has also has also learned the boot. At the cost of HP, 16 HP causes 80 damage. And William, he's not going to be in our team much longer, but hey, he's got a new thing here. Yes, that is a good thing. It costs a whopping 42 of his own HP to use, but it causes 80 damage on all enemies. You can bet I'm going to be using that. Now, let's see if we can't get out of here. Oh, here we are. Suddenly, there's a rope. I knew this barrel looked suspicious. Can we use this barrel to reach that rope over the wall? It appears to lead directly back to the cave's entrance. Okay, so automatic movement onto the barrel, and then I had to press down in order to start movement across the rope, at which point it was automatic going across the rope. Let's head back to the shore now. Meanwhile... Sarah cringes. My heart. Why does it hurt so? That's foreboding. Are you not feeling well, daughter? Is something the matter? Sarah is startled. What? Oh, no. Nay, father. I assure you that I am quite all right. I am just thinking very intently about some things, I guess. You've been heavily lost in thought for quite a few days now, but one does not normally have such a troubled and sorrowing look in her eyes just from intense thought, unless the manner of those thoughts were dark. You are no doubt in pain, my daughter, and it concerns those who love you to see the smile of peace be prolonged in its absence from the face of one who cannot bear to see the absence of peace in others. So kind and gentle is her heart. So, please tell me, what is wrong? It is my heart, Father. My heart is hurting, though I wish more than anything for the pain to go away. Mostly because I know I am only bringing pain to my friends as well this way. They worry for me because of these dreadful burdens I have allowed myself to fall under, don't they? Yes. May I ask you, daughter, is it that you have lost faith in the outcome of that awful struggle you and the others had to face on that day in the underground sanctuary? Do you now fear that perhaps Emily never found the way to eternal peace with our goddess after all? That she is lost to us? Forever? Oh my goodness! Okay, first things first, hi Lit. More importantly, hi Sarah's Knight! Haven't seen you here in a while. I know you're kind of busy with life and that sort of thing, so cool that you're able to show up. I am one stream away from the Battle of Naraka. Not at all, my dear father. There is no doubt in my mind that our ever-loving goddess has most gratefully taken Mother back into the safety of her divine embrace. That faraway nightmare known as a hell. The faraway nightmare known a hell. You know, I think I read it correctly and the dialogue itself is wrong in this situation. That faraway nightmare known as a hell is only a place meant for those so filled with hate that they would find a home within its black gates. Serena seeks to save any one of her children from running headlong into such a terrible place, which is merely a willingly self-created darkness for the few out there in the universe who actually take solace in the ways of terror. Mother must be in heaven right now, Father. I am sorry, my daughter. I am well assured that we will see your sweet mother again one day as well. I should have known that you, of all creatures, would not lose faith in something like that. Thank you, Father. Yet, in the end, can one little girl, and a human one at that, ever hope to make a significant difference for the world she cares so much for? Am I only going to fail all of those who depend so heavily upon me to care for them in their times of physical and emotional suffering, as Mother had once done for everyone she loved? Can I hope to stand up to the very same man who once haunted my every dream so many years ago, so much that I had dreaded closing my eyes to slumber? You are as much a hero to the people of Elvenia as any of those 4 friends of ours from the otherworld are. As long as your spirit remains this strong, you cannot possibly betray or fail those who you love, in any way. Father? You say that you were scared senseless by the man who had first made his prediction of Elvenia's destruction to you personally in your dreams, but have you ever imagined that he only meant to come after you the moment that he would finally arrive in Elvenia because the Dark Lord and all those like him fear you, daughter? Why, would anyone with enough power to completely erase Serena's creation from existence ever be afraid of me, Father? Because he knows that if nothing else, the power of love is still capable of stopping him, Sarah. He realizes that despite how fragile the goddess's children may appear at a glance, they will not easily bend to the will of a tyrant. That which the darkness cannot understand or control, it fears as much as you or I may fear it, and of all Elvenians, love and grace abound, perhaps the most in your heart. That is the very reason why evil is so desperate to be rid of you, my sweet daughter, and why you cannot help but be so afraid of evil in return. Then, why is it that, even as you say my spirit rests solely on the principles of love and self-sacrifice, I seem to possess the capability of slaying the precious life of another creature? Why must even I, who cannot bear to have blood on her hands, who is seen by all of her friends as some naive child who cannot possibly bring harm upon another even if she wished to? Sarah angrily says, "Why had I used what little power I possessed to slay those monsters that stood before me in Mother's sanctuary on that day, when the only desire in my heart was to save a friend from his suffering?" Daughter, so this is why your heart is in pain. You feel a weakness in your spirit, because it seems so contradictory to your nature, the gentle nature that you have desired to possess, to have to physically fight back against evil, and so forth, stain both your own hands and the sword of heaven with the blood of those who come against you, even if they themselves were without innocence and had fully intended to slay you without mercy. Sarah cries, "I don't care how merciless or cruel my opponent may be. I just cannot ever rejoice in the death of even the most devout servant of darkness whom I have managed to overcome and destroy. For even my enemy will feel great pain upon dying by the sword, and it will be because of me that he can never again be given the chance to be redeemed by love. I do not wish to triumph over the ones who seek to kill me by wielding sword or magic back against them, but only by trying to save them." Then that is precisely what proves that you are one of Serena's children, my Sarah, just as any other Elvenian is. Have you not fully understood the words that you yourself just spoke? You admitted that, even as you were forced to fight and slay evil in order to save Harrison, who is one of your friends, not to mention your own mother as well, you could not ever rejoice in doing so. You do not wish for the power to take the lives of others, nor can you stand the thought of being feared as one who is capable of such. You are not a murderer, Sarah. No one who feels this much compassion for even the most vile and hateful of beings, who swear themselves to the destruction of innocence such as she, could ever be considered the same as one such creature. You are only fighting to protect, my innocent daughter, not to bring cruel judgment onto your enemies. How could you have ever been able to bring Emily's poor tormented soul back into the light if all that I said were not true? And him calling Lisa Winters Emily is good timing for right now, because SK has just revealed why Lisa Winters is suddenly called Emily. It's because her full name is Lisa Emily Winters. Some call her Lisa, others call her Emily, like her husband. So that is good to know and a whole lot less confusing. Thank you, Father. You never failed to be there for me when my heart was wavering like this. None of you ever have. I am truly blessed to be loved so by all of you, though I am unworthy of it all. Sigh, daughter. At times, your ways of faith and incredible resilience cause you to appear very strong and mature for your delicate age, and yet, it is also clear that you can be just as vulnerable in spirit as could any small child, because even your resolve can break sometimes. It is no wonder our friends still look upon you as just a little girl. No matter how noble a reason it is to stand and fight for the people you love, daughter, I do not think you could be blamed for not wanting to raise a sword against other living creatures. If you cannot bring yourself to fight, then Serena will ensure that you can protect her children without having to resort to doing so. Seeing you as you are now, I cannot help but wonder if it was all part of fate that you had become friends with that young man. Disregarding that strange white feather in his hair and his tendency to avoid smiling in front of others, perhaps you were in need of someone such as he, especially when you had to face Emily, as dangerous an adversary as she had become in her possessed state. I felt as though I could not have survived to see the day of Mother's salvation had Mr. Dusk not been there to protect me. But then, without all four of those children of the other world to be there for us in such a time of peril, you surely would have lost both Mother and myself on that day, Father. Nor would Lord Uri and the others have ever been heard from again by the people of their own world, and Lady Michiru would have probably never found her sisters again. Yes, that is true. By the way, daughter, I found your diary a little while ago. Here. That was quite a sound for pulling out a book. Ah, I was wondering where it had disappeared to. I had been looking for it all day. Gulp. You didn't accidentally see anything within its covers, thinking it was some other book, did you? Lyle makes an embarrassed cough. I sincerely apologize, my daughter. In my rather slow-minded old age, it had taken me the first 20 pages or so before I realized that I was not reading a Danielle Steele novel. Didn't you look at the book's title? How embarrassing. Forgive me, Sarah, but it would seem that you have a more romantic-minded nature than your childlike appearance suggests. Is that really so surprising? Though I do not own up to the praise that so many of my friends, especially Mr. Dusk, seem to humble me with so often, I must admit that I myself possess an almost desperate wish that the day would come when someone would confess that he cannot live. Sarah falters. Without me. Daughter, that is the true reason why you are feeling pain in your heart, isn't it? Yes. You need him, don't you, daughter? Sarah blushes. Yes, Father, I do. Do you think that he might be in need of me someday, too? I think he already does, Sarah. I see. Oh, are we about to change to a different memory card? Yep, changing to the next memory card. Onward to memory card number 6. which I have already prepared for the occasion. By the way, that moment ago when Laya was all, "You need him," normally it totally bothers me when people are being mysterious about who they're talking about. It's like, just say who he is. It's kind of interesting when we actually do know who they're talking about. It's kind of nice being on that side of the mystery. Oh, by the way, SK, you said a while back that you, and I think also Lantis, did a playthrough of the original game, the, crappy version of Arath. I would be very interested in seeing that. Honestly, I had planned on playing it myself after beating this game in case the old version got released, but then the drama happened and, there went those plans. Okay guys, let's head back to the holy city of Naraka. And this place is no longer dark, I notice. And it paused a moment to brighten it up, even though it didn't need to. Before we move on, though, Wyoland Gold Pyramid was asking what Ebony Gulf looked like if I actually took the time to explore it. I don't know that that is not supposed to happen. Whoops. That's kind of weird. That didn't happen the first time we came here. Anyway, I don't know that there's any reason to actually go exploring around this place. There's not going to be any treasures, just random encounters and a random whirlpool. But it does give us an opportunity to try out a couple things here. First off, Harrison, you learned Hazy Moonbeam, and what was the other thing? The boot. Give him the boot. And William, Steel Typhoon. It seems I am also having trouble finding the whirlpools. I get the feeling that the whirlpools are no longer here. They probably were not included on this memory card. Uri, I am bummed because you did not get the chance to try out your sword, I don't think. William, just do this some more. We're gonna go ahead and heal after we're done here. Actually, if there's nothing else to find, then we'll probably just go ahead and... That's a nice amount of aloe veras. We'll probably just go ahead and just leave this place. Move on to something else. It'll take a bit of effort getting out of here, mind you. Now that I am deep into this place, all of a sudden, these characters have decided that they should totally be attacking me a whole bunch. Unless I use one of those items that reduce encounters that I can't remember the name of, even though I was just using them last time. Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and use one of those. Harrison misses out on experience. Oh well. So, let's go ahead and use a few ward spears to get out of here. Because there's clearly nothing here of interest, especially now that we transition to the next memory card. By the way, the reason why these characters suddenly change from boat to characters is because that way they are not still a boat on the world map, and when we enter other places. Maybe instead the screen could have darkened first to do that, but then we'd have to also make sure that the screen was brightened up whenever we enter other places, so I suppose there wasn't really any good way of handling that. Anyway, we need to make our way back to Naraka Palace, and we will go ahead and do that after this break. Be right back.